Arch Manning more hype from a key footballman?
I'm fascinated that the hype keeps growing despite the fact that no one has seen him do anything in the last 10 months to have the hype keep building.
Well,
but it won't stop.
This guy has seen him.
He has.
Yep. You were talking about visiting practice?
Ah, yes.
This guy...
of course. Let me guess. Yogi Roth or Josh Pate?
What would you say?
Nope.
You do.
I would
here?
also like to point out, would someone please, I would like to be informed the next time that one of these big national brand college football guys, Brock Heward and Pate and all that, when someone tell me when they go to one of these practices and then they leave and they're not blown away by what they see.
They come away unimpressed.
I just want.
It's yet to happen in the history of reporting on these camps.
I want to send them to like Toledo and see if they're like, hey guys, I don't know if this will happen, but I'm telling you.
Eastern Michigan, here we go.
I just spent a week at Eastern Michigan, and let me tell you, I think this team can go to the playoffs. Because every time they leave one of these, the coach is the greatest coach. It's the greatest motivator. Everyone has gained 15 pounds in the offseason. They've never seen physicality like this, and they have a player that can win the Heisman Trophy. But continue. He just got done watching Arch Manning at practice, and ooh, doggy.
Okay, so I am speaking of none other than the great national champion coach, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I think he won a title.
Okay.
We think.
Ed Orgeron.
Yes, Ed Orgeron did indeed win a national title.
So a little credibility there.
Yes.
Go Tigers!
Would have made it out of the foosh.
Go Tigers!
Oh, they're chanting.
Yeah.
Wow. They love Ed.
Go Tigers!
He says, so Orgeron said on the newest episode of Pardon My Take, which is some sort of podcast.
It's the #2 sports podcast in the world.
Okay, what's the #1 sports podcast in the world?
Travis and Jason Kelsey, New Heights.
Is that really a sports podcast, or are they just sportsmen on a podcast?
I mean, it's mostly a sports podcast,
I think so.
But at least sports adjacent.
Okay, he said, I had an opportunity to go to Texas and speak at their clinic, and I watched practice. Now, we knew Arch Manning as a kid from Louisiana. He liked Joe Brady. We watched him as a recruit, but I watched his practice at Texas, and I will say this conservatively, and we recruited current LSU quarterback Garrett Nussmeier. Yeah. Garrett's a great player, but Arch is as close to, or maybe as good as, Joe Burrow as I've ever seen. And I've never said that about anybody. There you go.
Right, so
the hype.
So Ed Orgeron, he, to be fair, he was the coach when Joe Burrow and that LSU team won a national championship. So Arch Manning, who has played, I think, 2 games, 2 meaningful games at Texas, is now Joe Burrow because Ed Orgeron saw him one day at practice at Texas.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
hey man.
I'm not rooting against Arch Manning. I'm really not. By all accounts, he's a good kid, comes from a good family, and he may turn out to be the second coming. But my God.
He's Cooper's kid?
He's Cooper's kid.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember the last time I felt hype like this. I mean,
Trevor Lawrence had some.
Yeah, Lawrence had some.
Andrew Luck had a lot.
Yeah.
Lived up too.
To this though, I mean, my God, like at least they had to play. I mean, people are saying Nick Saban will come back to coach Arch Manning. NFL teams tanking to get Arch Manning. Like the best quarterback since Tim Tebow, which there's already been better quarterbacks.
Where's your Heisman money? You want the odds?
Yeah. So, there's not many returning guys, so you'll get Klubnik, I'm sure, is in there.
Arch is the favorite.
Okay.
He's plus 700. Cade Klubnik of Clemson is plus 900, along with Garrett Nussmeier of LSU. Then you have Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State, plus 1,200. And then you get down to Lenoris Sellers, plus 1,700.
Sure.
He's the quarterback at South Carolina. And you have Carson Beckett, plus 1,800, quarterback at Miami.
No, like Drew Aller or anything?
Aller's 1,800.
Okay.
Sam Leavitt.
I was going to say, what about Leavitt?
He's good.
If you're trying to find some value, because the Big 12's kind of the...
Sam Leavitt is plus 2,000. Dante Moore, plus 2,500. Hey, John Mateer, plus 2,500.
Yeah, Oklahoma's not going to be that good.
Well, I just saw a ranking of the who was it? It was ESPN that did the ranking of the top 100 college football players.
Yeah.
And Mateer was higher than Arch, and he was higher than, I think, Klubnik.
Well, the
They
club
had him like 16th.
Well, that'd be interesting. I mean, from Washington State to Oklahoma, big jump, but at least we've seen Mateer play. And that's all I'm saying about Arch Manning is it just wait and see. Like Quentin, and this is also kind of unfair because we had seen him play, but the hype train on college kids, when it gets to this level, that a lot of times it does not work out. And as someone has pointed out multiple times on the program, and someone just threw it out here on the text program, he couldn't beat out Quinn Ewers in 2 years. And Quinn Ewers was not great. He just wasn't. Quinn Ewers was a good, solid college quarterback. And Arch couldn't beat him out. Honestly, it wasn't competitive. It wasn't like they split time. In fact, Quinn Ewers got benched, and Arch couldn't take the job.
Yeah, I
and
feel
run
like
with
they
it.
wanted Arch to win that job.
Yes.
They tried to give it to him, and he couldn't take
Yeah,
it.
He
he
couldn't
couldn't
take
do
it.
it.
And so maybe Arch has made leaps and bounds. Because it does happen. I talk about it every year. When you go into spring practice, no matter what team you're on, there's always a handful of kids that go into spring thinking one thing, and you walk out being like, dude, I don't know what happened there. Like all of a sudden this defensive end who was a scout team guy can't be blocked, or a receiver is all of a sudden catching anything. So the light can go off, but I do think it's somewhat interesting that a guy who couldn't beat out an average college quarterback for 2 years is now being hailed, not as, and I would get it if you said, hey, we think Texas is the number one team in the country, and we think Texas can win a national title, and Arch is the starting quarterback, therefore it's going to be good. But that's not what you're hearing. You are hearing best quarterback in a generation, NFL teams tanking, surefire number one overall pick.
Nick Saban would come out of retirement to coach him.
And I just am perplexed for a kid that did not, like, if you listen to people when he was getting recruited out of high school, they said if you took the Manning name off of him, he's a solid 4-star quarterback.
It's like the Bronny thing, right?
Yes.
Where
he was not a generational prospect. Far from it.
would have still been a college basketball player, or in this case, a college quarterback, but
Yes.
not to the degree that
I
maybe
think
they think he is.
If I'm betting Heisman, which I won't, but if I did, I think I'd take Klubnik
Yeah.
because
Well, Clemson's going to be there.
yeah, and he's awesome.
Yes.
And he is in his 4th year, and I think he started 3 straight years, maybe just 2, but and he's
They're going to win a ton of games.
yeah, he's playing in the ACC.
Yes.
So I think I'd take him.
They'll win 10 or 11 games.
This will be his 4th year, and 2 of them, this will be his 3rd full-time year. He played as a freshman, and he started the last 2 years.
Yeah,
and
he
now,
platooned with DJU.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing though. Clemson opens with LSU. Did you know that? So Nussmeier v. Klubnik.
Ooh, that's a
right
tasty
out of
little
the
highlighter game.
That's a
that
great
is a
game.
highlighter game.
That's a great game. Find me a game that will have 2 better quarterbacks than that all season.
And I will put, like, if you want to put a large chunk of money on a team that's going to be in the playoff, I give you Clemson.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens at LSU, Troy, Georgia Tech, Syracuse, North Carolina, Boston College, SMU, Duke, Florida State, Louisville, Furman, and South Carolina.
Yeah, Miami and Clemson do not play in the league this year.
Clemson will be in the playoff.
Right.
And they're saying, by the way, that not only is
People are
the
saying.
Clemson offense, but if you look at like the NFL draft boards, Clemson's defense is back to where it was when
They reportedly have 5 NFL caliber guys on their defense.
it's going to be a real defense, and they found their quarterback. You know, they went through kind of their weird lull, and by the way, last year still made the college football playoff. Clemson is about ready, I think, to announce their presence back on the national stage and give everyone the middle finger.
Hey, real quick on Clemson.
Yeah.
Don't you think, because the Wall Street Journal wrote about this recently, it was a good point. They were saying that as college football has changed and, got NIL and all these transfers and all this crap, and your boy, Dabo,
It's a dadgum mistake.
wouldn't really go for it. Like,
Yep.
he just won't.
Yeah, it just wasn't his thing.
He's big into development. They wrote an article recently about how that's such an advantage for them now because they're the ones that have had guys in the system
Oh, they have continuity.
for 3. Yeah. And no one else does.
But they were the only program outside of the service academies that did not take
Yeah.
a transfer 2 years ago.
And finally, Dabo has come around. And,
Yeah, he
and
has.
They have wet their beak, but yes, largely he has said we are going to build this program from within, and I just think it's getting, for all the people that were laughing at Dabo, and look, he is a big eye roll to me too, but Dabo has won 2 national championships, led a Clemson program from, I'm not going to say from obscurity, but from a 2nd-tier program to, again, 2 national championships. And then they were winning 10 games and we were all writing them off laughing and like, this guy's a joke. And all he did last year again was make the college football playoff. And now they're one of the odds-on favorites to be a national title team again. I just think Dabo doesn't get the respect.
It's the dadgum mistake.
And I think the personality thing probably goes a long way into that. But like when you're talking about coaches, like people talk about Dan Lanning as like Dan Lanning versus Dabo, and people are like, oh, Dan Lanning. And you're like, really? Like, have you seen what Dabo has done at Clemson?
You know, I will say about him, I think it is interesting because he won the 2 titles, but then his offense fell off the map.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it was terrible.
They put their stock in DJ,
but he's gotten that squared away. And he's done it without doing it like everybody else is doing it.
This is Dabo. So after the it took him a little bit when he got there, right? It wasn't like the end all to be all. They were winning, they won 9 games, 6 games. And then look at this run since 2011 with 2 national titles and has played for a couple more. 10, 11, 11, 10, 14, 14, 12, 15, 14, 10, 10, 11, 9, 10.
Wow.
Played in, I believe, in 4 national championships, won 2 of them. Like,
that's pretty good.
Can we, as much as I don't like the guy,
You can sleep when you die.
Can we just tip the cap a little bit and say maybe put some respect on the guy's name?
Nice little program.
Nice. And yet Arch Manning gets all the love, but Dabo, he's a bum.
I was looking at odds today. You can still get Clemson plus money to win the ACC.
Can you really?
You can.
Well, I'll go
Might
ahead.
be smart.
It's not big plus money, but it's plus money.
Yeah, Miami being the other one, right?